Hello and welcome to a special edition of Hawthorne Happenings. I'm Mary Rose Abraham. This year's high school valedictorians have a few things in common. They're all heading to University of California campuses in the fall, each has a GPA over 4.0, and they all say AP Calculus was their hardest class. But that's where the similarities end. Each of these four students has their own unique talents and dreams for the future. We spent some time with them at LEUZINGER, LAWNDALE, and Hawthorne high schools. In LEUZINGER High School's AP English Literature class, students put together a portfolio of their best work of the year. Cindy Cardenas included a few poems she wrote.
I called it Eyes of Wine. If eyes are indeed the window to the soul, then
She's very perceptive, especially when it comes to analyzing literature. And she's a very strong writer and such an avid reader that it's very clear she's able to make connections that some of her peers aren't because she's so well read.
Exactly. Very good.
Cindy says English is her favorite out of the 6 APs and honors classes in her 4 years at LEUZINGER. She usually spends 3 to 4 hours on homework and studying, but doing well started long before high school.
Of course, since she was young, since before she started school, she always liked books, starting with comics. And when she went to preschool and kindergarten, she always wanted to be the best in the school. She always felt bad when she thought she wasn't going to do the best, and she didn't.
my family, like my close family, we're pretty small, 4 people, but then my extended family is like fairly large. So then, once my parents started like bragging, oh, Cindy's like doing so in school, I was sort of like trying to stay up to their expectations, like make them proud.
In fact, Cindy is the first in her extended family to attend a 4-year college. Her teachers say her self-motivation is just one reason why.
She's obviously very dedicated and driven, responsible and reliable, but she's also a very nice person, easygoing and easy to talk to and personable.
This year, Cindy had the top grade in her French 4 AP class. She even served as a teaching assistant in the freshman class. Despite doing well in all her classes, Cindy didn't expect to be valedictorian.
I was very surprised considering that I hadn't held the #1 spot until this year, and that I was told that I was sort of in a 3-way tie with 2 other guys. So they finally did all the calculations and put in all of our AP classes, all of our honors scores, and then they finally told me, yes, you're going to be valedictorian, get your speech ready.
Your future is yours. It is in your hands. As long as you keep fighting, you've succeeded. So go out into the world and show them what Lou House can do.
But Cindy doesn't just express herself through her writing. One of her favorite extracurriculars this year was drama.
I think high school is mostly about the embarrassing moments. But my favorite memory, I have it. The first time I went on stage for drama, afterwards my friends, they came up to me, they congratulated me, they brought me flowers. I was so touched and everything.
There'll be plenty more memories to make in the next 4 years at UC Riverside. And after that?
I always had the dream of being a writer. I mean, maybe the next Shakespeare or something like that. Once you get older, I guess you find that, you have to work at it, you have to strive for it. It's not just talent that you supposedly have. So that might still be something I'm interested in, maybe actually writing some kind of fantasy or children's novel.
Whatever her future may hold, this is a young woman who knows herself well.
I am, at heart, a dreamer, a romantic, an idealist. And then everywhere else I'm sarcastic and joker and all that other stuff.
Like the other valedictorians, Hawthorne High School's Nancy Huynh says AP Calculus is her toughest class, but it's also where she excels. She not only skipped pre-calculus, but also took a class that's not in the school curriculum.
We had never had a student take this Calculus BC before, nor had any student ever expressed interest in it. And what Nancy did at the end of her junior year was come up and say, I'm going to take Calculus BC. And I said, we don't offer Calculus BC. And she said, I'm going to take it online. And I said, oh, okay. It was completely her idea, and the way she put it, there wasn't really a choice for us. We had to find a way to let her take this online.
It's that kind of initiative that led to her being valedictorian.
My motivation to do well, and not just to be like average, just to go beyond what I'm expected. Just believe that if you're given the opportunity, you should take the most of it.
Nancy is graduating with a GPA of 4.591. Though math is her strength, it's certainly not the only subject in which she excels.
She applied to, Caltech. They have an interesting application. Instead of doing an essay, they give them a big blank space to fill. And Nancy took that blank space and she filled it with, she used a work of art and tore it apart and interpreted it and connected it to her life, which I thought was pretty creative for, kind of a math geek type person. So yeah, I think there's more there than maybe a lot of people know about Nancy, but she does have a lot of interests.
She is really nice. You would think, you look at her and you see her in class, you can think, oh my gosh, she's so smart, and she's so quiet, shy. You would think that she's shy. That's what I thought at first, but not really. She's, if you start knowing her and you have a conversation with her, she's very funny. She tells you jokes and okay, and we never knew that side of her, and a lot of people don't know that side of her, but I think she's very genuine and very modest person.
Besides schoolwork, Nancy has performed community service through the Key Club since freshman year. Add to that 3 to 4 hours of homework and study. Keeping up this schedule would be a test for any teenager.
Every day is an obstacle, just getting up and going to school. And there's always a thought what if I just don't go to school today, or just to be lazy. But actually going to school and making the most out of it, I think that's an obstacle.
Nancy has relied on her own motivation and the support of her family to keep her going.
I don't really have to encourage her about school. That's about her. She's really good for study. She wants to get there and, get successful in her future.
She's my angel. We all family very miss her. She's going to UC Berkeley on this August. So she's proud of her today.
My parents have been very supportive of me, and they expect me to do well. And it's just, they love me and they want me to go off to college because they couldn't have the opportunity to do that.
At UC Berkeley, Nancy will study in the College of Engineering.
I'm excited to go to Berkeley. I'm not exactly sure what awaits for me, but I'm thinking that it's going to be a great experience.
After that, she may pursue graduate studies, maybe at MIT. For this Hawthorne graduate, it's a future bright with promise.
We, the class of 2005, are the seeds of today who will continue to grow, to learn, and to live, to become the fruit of tomorrow.
Our co-valedictorians, Roque and Marc Bacani.
No one was more surprised when honors were announced earlier this year than Lawndale High School's valedictorians.
We're in the vice principal's office and everybody just came in. So it was really, really shocking. It was just you couldn't believe it. And the only thing we did was hug each other and shake everybody's hands. So it was a great moment.
That was just the beginning for great moments. During senior awards, Arlene claimed 7 honors and scholarships too.
My parents always told me that in order to be successful, you have to first do well in school, even if it's tedious work or even if you have to go to class every day, get up early. So that was like the #1 motivation.
Her parents remember her success in school even as a child.
A little quiet. She could be really quiet, but at the same time be really intelligent. We're very proud of her.
Que siga así.
Since she was little, she's always been first in her class. Since kindergarten and always, always, always.
Like her co-valedictorian, Arlene is heading to UC Berkeley in the fall. For now, she plans to major in architecture, a blend of her favorites, math, science, and art.
You have to look at how it goes, right? So it's decreasing.
She also has incredible artistic ability that she doesn't let anyone know about, but all of a sudden you start seeing some of her artwork and it's just amazing.
Maybe not what you'd expect from a valedictorian, but then Arlene is not the stereotypical honors student.
I'm always the person making them laugh. So it's all those times that I say something, I love hearing people laugh. I guess it's not common for the valedictorians to make people laugh, but I've been referred to as goofball, so yeah.
Besides a sense of humor, Arlene describes herself as outgoing and family-oriented. Every day after school, she walks 2 miles to get home, and before settling in to a few hours of study and homework, she helps her 2 younger sisters with their schoolwork. Close as she is to her family, Arlene says she must leave.
I also want to break away. I don't want to stay here. That was my main reason for not applying to UCLA, because then I'd be tempted to stay. And I feel I need to break away in order to kind of approach life in a different way. So
the memory of this day and the struggle that brought us here will be present as a milestone in the beginning of our lives. A life of more responsibilities, yet a life with more opportunities that enable us to accomplish what was once a childhood dream.
And what is Arlene's dream to be fulfilled?
I see myself as, I don't know doing what, but I see myself as someone that's successful, that is stable in life. So whatever it is I'm doing, I just have to be sure that what I'm doing makes me happy.
Marc, we doing a project.
Arlene's classmate in math is Marc Bacani, Lawndale High's co-valedictorian. He's got the same 4.33 GPA and is heading to UC Berkeley as well. But Marc's motivation for achieving top honors is far more serious.
Actually, I've always wanted to be valedictorian, because when I went to my brother's graduation, the valedictorians got to wear gold robes, and I guess I just wanted to stand out.
Lawndale's valedictorians don't get the gold robes, but Marc has definitely stood out during his 4 years at the school. Besides valedictorian, he's played football and track and is also president of the Associated Student Body, or ASB, this year.
And he's one of those students who's everywhere. He's helping out with ASB, he's taking his classes, he's being social with his friends. He's just everywhere, but he's always committed to that goal he has of going to school and being successful.
That commitment requires about 5 hours of study a night. But Marc's not one to go home and get right to studying. He usually doesn't start until 8 p.m., and he doesn't get much sleep since he's up by 5:30 a.m. to commute from Carson to Lawndale.
I'm a late sleeper, because I procrastinate, I guess. But I get it done. That's what counts to me, just getting it done.
Which brings us to the real motivation for Marc's success, a tough time for his family when he was younger.
I bought food with my Christmas money, and that was a sacrifice for me at that age, I guess, to spend my money on food for everybody. You have to work hard, I guess. Don't take anything for granted.